No Ghanaian artist popular in Europe, US, UK. Alright, Nigerian artists dominate. No Ghanaian artist popular in Europe, US, UK. Nigerian artists dominate. And then check out the most popular West African artists across continents. Okay, alright. A recent rating from Congo to Global, a platform which celebrates and promotes Pan-African history and African pop culture, has ruled out any Ghanaian musician as a popular artist across Europe, UK, and US. Okay, lovely day. Welcome to today's exclusive right here on TJ Studios. Wow, it's basically a Good Friday as we are gearing up. Well, we are in the Easter festivities, a Good Friday, and within the Christian context, well, it's a day where we lost our beloved Messiah, Jesus Christ, and we are looking forward to seeing him resurrect on Sunday to do the needful, to become, as the savior of our life, share his last words with us, and ascend to heaven. So happy Easter to each and everyone. Okay, my name has always been TJY, your commander-in-chief, your kingpin of this channel. But preferably, I love to be called Emeka. Preferably, I love to be called Chuku Emeka or Imasuen. Call me Emeka Friday, and I will salute right back. On the bill today, well, I promised my cherished viewers that I'm gonna drop a survey. All right, a survey of the most popular artists in Africa. And not only in Africa, Europe, Eastern Europe, America, North America, wherever in the world, who are the most popular artists in the whole of Africa. And then even in Africa, in East Africa, South Africa, North Africa, and in West Africa, okay, we'll look at artists who are basically popular, okay? So, and basically you see that these days I don't go for a quick commercial break, because I use the medium and the content to serve as a quick commercial break. So without much ado, let's zoom in straight to action and look at, itinerary for today. So no Ghanaian artist popular in Europe, US, UK. All right, Nigerian artists dominate. No Ghanaian artist popular in Europe, US, UK. Nigerian artists dominate. And then check out the most popular West African artists across continents. Okay, all right. A recent rating from Congo to Global, a platform which celebrates and promotes Pan-African history and African pop culture, has ruled out any Ghanaian musician as a popular artist across Europe, UK, and US. The rating placed Nigeria's Burna Boy as the leading most popular artist in Europe, US, and UK. No musician from Ghana made it to the list. Okay, all right. However, it is equally important to note that the listed artists have been able to enthrall audiences in various parts of the world, demonstrating the depth and diversity of African music. Check out the list for the most popular artists by locations. Now, we are looking at United Kingdom, okay? All right. So United Kingdom is largely dominated by Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Asake Davido, okay? So we have Burna Boy, Wizkid, Asake, and then Davido. United States, all right, we have Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido. Okay, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido. East Africa, we have Diamond Platinums, Burna Boy, Wizkid, and then Davido. France, we have Fally Ipupa, Burna Boy, Soul King, and then Davido. Caribbean, we have Burna Boy and Davido. Caribbean, we have Burna Boy and Davido with Timaya as the last person. Interesting. Caribbean. West Africa, we have Davido, Wizkid, and Burna Boy. West Africa. French-speaking West Africa, we have Fally Ipupa, Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, and then Fergola. North Africa, we have Amir Diab, Tamer Hosni, Mohammed Ramadan, and then we have Burna Boy. Central Africa, we have Fally Ipupa, Diamond Platinums, Davido, and then Burna Boy. India, we have Rema, CK. All right, India, we have Rema and CK. Okay, all right. So basically, this is the list. All right, and the list is from, like we mentioned, Congo to Global, a platform which celebrates and promotes Pan-African history and African pop culture. All right, okay. Now, dominantly, all right, or predominantly, a chunk of the list has Nigerian artists in them. Basically, even that of the West African region, a chunk of the artists are from Nigeria, with no other country in it. So before we rule in our artists to do a lot, before we decide to bring on board an initiative like the Play 100 Ghana %, we should look at, the music industry in total, okay, and then look at it and realize that artists are not global yet, and such an initiative will even dim their career and ditch it, all right, to the lowest, barest minimum it should go. Okay, so in an instance, you look at it and you realize that, you see, you can't lie to yourself because you are a Ghanaian, sit on TV, sit on your channel, sit wherever, and then portray Ghanaian artists as big and international artists. You see, that's my problem. You can't portray our artists as big and international artists. You hurt yourself by doing that. We call it, you cook your own food, you taste it, and then you feel it's good. But wait till other people taste the food. All right? If you trust yourself to the extent that the food you are cooking is good, you make sure that external people also benefit from it and eat the same food. But if you cook out there, if you are a vendor, if you are somebody who sells food out there, and then you you cook food, and then people eat it for the first time, second time, and they do not return to buy it, it should tell you that the food is not as tasty as it should be. The ingredients probably might not have been mixed to its, coolest minimum or coolest length for it to taste good, for people to love it, and then recommend the food for other people to also love it and then come and buy. Because people recommend stuff or good stuff to people. All right. So we've talked about the Nigerian dominancy. It has reflected in Europe. It has reflected in North Africa. It has reflected even in South Africa. All right. West Africa as well. Central Africa. Wherever, everywhere, the dominancy of the Nigerian music space has shown. All right. So we need not to be a Nigerian to pronounce and to admonish and to celebrate the success story of Nigerians. It's there for everybody to see. All right. Other sites, other Pan-African sites, other music-loving sites will have their ratings. But if you look at it, in every quarter of every region, be it East Africa, South Africa, West Africa, North Africa, wherever within Africa, they are dominant. Let's take it to US, let's take it to UK, let's take it to North America, South America, wherever, even the Caribbeans, you'll find a Nigerian or some Nigerian artists dominating there. So it was quite interesting when the other time I did a podcast and the Ghanaian pundits were asking how dominant Nigerian artists are in Europe to merit even the Grammys. It means that statistically we are not even up there. And the problem I have been having with giving people punditry, advantage to be on radio to serve as pundits and pundit on music and in the entertainment music industry, you see that we've made a mistake by allowing certain people. The fact that people have names, the fact that people are popular does not mean that they are intelligent and wise enough to grace our television sets and represent Ghana. People are crying. The youth are crying. Why? Because they love Nigerian music. Chunk and majority of Ghanaians have Nigerian music on their phones, but they find people on TV portraying as if our artists are the biggest brands in the world. But when you go out there and you mention our artist name, they ditch in the mud, and then when you search for them in the mud water, you cannot find them. Can we stay truthful? I saw somebody commenting in the comment section of my previous video that anybody preaching the oneness of Africa is probably preaching, a hoax of a thing. You get it? I know it's difficult, all right, looking at how we've been brainwashed as a result of the slavery we found ourselves in the past. But let's look at it from this angle. The youth of this generation, of our generation, a chunk of our generation are beginning to realize in the fact that Africa, the unity of Africa, will serve as a medium where Africa will have, greater things, all right, greater advantages in our work of life, in every endeavor of our day-to-day activities, and will thrive out there. This survey has outlined the fact that African music is being basically pushed out there by a country. And with any revolution, positive revolution, it should start with one particular, people. The revolution of Pan-Africanism started with Kwame Nkrumah and the Big Six, and it had influences from, or it was influenced and then bought into by other Africans, and it began to work. Unfortunately, same Africans. Yesterday I mentioned that the problem with Africa lies within Africa. The problem with Africans are the same Africans. You get it? So it will come to a time, like I said, majority of Africans will come and will have a self-realization to the extent that others will have no option than to join. Nigerians have laid a bridge, constructed a bridge that links Africa to the world. All right? You cannot say that because the bridge was built by Nigerians, you don't want to hop onto it. You don't want to join. You have to, because it's a bridge. You get it? It's a bridge that connects us to other African or other, nationals in the outside world. All right? And you saw in the comment section a lot of Nigerians lamenting on the fact that they are done with Africa. They are done with Africa. They are now competing with the world. All right? I said something in a previous podcast. Nigerians are not probably competing in Nigeria with their own self and then their own artist. Everybody seems to be competing with his personal self, and they are doing their own thing. All right? Okay? They are doing their own thing. You couldn't compete with P Square. You couldn't compete with Divanch. You couldn't compete with these Nigerian artists who laid the foundation for today's generation to hop on. So in the previous video, you saw the video, narrating the fact that they are enjoying from the sweat and then the foundation of Divanch, of Two-Face, Idibia, and then P Square, and so on and so forth. With them, the next generation is also going to benefit. So artists are building foundations, carrying on with the foundation laid by their former artists. They add up, artists will come, add up, and they will keep growing. Unfortunately, in my country, artists are fighting themselves. Journalists will ask questions that will pitch artists against themselves. Then they will sit on TV and then discuss why our industry is not thriving. I said the last time, if our main purpose, all right, is to edge Nigeria and then become the biggest industry in the world, then we have a long way to go. It's not feasible. It's not going to work. All right. The only thing you can do is to be in your own lane. Forget about this I'm struggling. I don't want to use a word has come to my mind and I don't want to use it. Forget about this unnecessary competition among yourselves. Go out there and compete. I've said it on countless times that our sense of originality is lost. Somebody will be on stage, will be given the platform to perform in Ghana, and will be using a foreign language of Jamaicans or Jamaicans to portray a Ghanaian culture. My brother, you are lost. You don't know what you are doing. What is our original call card? People have Afrobeat. People are doing other genres. All right. Wizkid himself can do Afrobeat and other genres. All right. Which is rooted within the Nigerian music space. We are on the other hand doing dancehall, and then we are now calling it Afro pop or Afro dancehall. It doesn't make sense. It's not for you. The dancehall bit are for some people. It is difficult to be a Ghanaian now. Very, very difficult to be a Ghanaian now. Because people are projecting us in such proximity of negativity to the extent that if you don't take care, it will swallow you up because you have the Ghanaian tag on you. First, it was not like that. We had this positivity around us where we accepted everybody, and the kind of hospitality that was brewed between us, in the past, all right, nurtured by our forefathers, called Ghana as the gateway to Africa. Why? Because we were hospitable. Now we've lost it because others, all right, geographically it was not feasible. Geographically, even if you look at the gateway to Africa bit, Nigeria stands in the middle of Africa far more better than Ghana. But we got it because we were hospitable. We received people without negativity. Unfortunately, this generation, the people who have risen to the bill are doing it in such a negative manner to the extent that the youth of today will need to stand up, rise up, and fight against the negativity in our music industry. We have a long way to go. And I'm signing out of here, but I've been saying this on my channel and on my podcast all the time. The train is still accessible. You can still access the train. It will get to a time the speed of the train will not be accessible to you. Just as Noah's Ark was not accessible to some sinners who were warned of the forthcoming flood, and they decided to turn deaf ear to it. Okay? So it's a slippery slope. Africa, Nigerians are leading. Let's join the train. Let's see them as carving the pathway, or see them as, head leaders, all right, as revolutionists of the African music space, and then learn and then follow them. I know majority of Africans will gradually buy into this with time. Guys, let's not focus on a few negatives, all right, who do not form a majority state. They are just 20 to 30%. Let's focus on the 70, 80 who are looking at the African or the unity of Africa. Like I said, I'm not going to be so shallow-minded to say that because I'm a Ghanaian, I will sit here and say Ghana is on the threshold or on a tangent which they are not, and then promote Ghana to a point which is not, people will come and realize that I spewed lies on my channel and I will lose my dignity and integrity. Let's do the needful. Okay? Shout outs to Nigeria for leading this survey of being all around of taking their music to every corner of the world. All right? A time is coming, Africans, or the lesser percentage of Africans who do not understand will gradually understand, hop on to the larger percentage who have the positivity, and then we'll do this together. All right? Okay, so this has been it on today's survey of the West African music domain and who is promoting African music out there in the world. And automatically we've all seen that Nigerians have taken hold of this. My name has always been TJ. Why? If you agree or disagree in certain portions of today's exclusive, do well to add up and share your thoughts with me in line with today's editorial. Before I sign out, I preferably love to be called Emeka Friday, Imaswen, and then Chuku Emeka. Alright, let's do this most times. Okay, you can subscribe to the channel, join the exclusive by also hitting the notification button, All right, clicking on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. Also, do well to share your thoughts with me in the comment section. I'm signing out of here. See you same time. I salute.